Hello, and welcome to a different kind of video. I did make a video kind of like this for Zenless Zone Zero's closed beta test, but I did want to make a video talking about my thoughts about this game, Wuthering Waves, as I've been playing it now for, I would say, total time, roughly like 8-ish hours. Not all consecutive, but I've put in a decent amount of time into this game. I'm currently level 23, which isn't like too crazy. I know my buddy is like almost level 30 by now. Like, people have been grinding out this game a bunch and doing all sorts of different stuff. But I did just want to make a video talking about my thoughts about the game itself and if I would recommend it to other people and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the things that I do really like about this game and some of the things that I'm not too keen about. I think it'll be easier to talk about what I'm not too excited about first, because there's very few things that I'm having issues with. I know a lot of people in the past couple of days, I believe this is day 3 of the game's launch, have been having a lot of issues with lag, and I can definitely see that being the case, as I have gotten a couple, like, some server lag here and there, frame drops, stuff like that, and I think it's mainly going to stem from the fact that there's so many people trying to play this game, especially on day 1. It was really bad. Like, I think my ping was like in the 200s. I think it's just because there's so many people trying to actively play the game at the same time that it's probably overloading their servers a little bit. As you can see, like, I just lag spiked right there for a second. So it's probably just like a thing where it's like the amount of people trying to play the game is kind of a bit much for their servers. Now, I don't know if that was like something that they were expecting, because I know they got they hit all their pre-register milestones, so I don't know if they were just not anticipating the fact that so many people would be on the game at the same exact time, trying to get in and out and in and out and in and out. So that might be why the servers are feeling a little bit lagging, and I have seen people have complaints over like frame drops and game-breaking bugs and stuff like that, and I do understand that that is like a problem that they have mentioned that they are working on. They are being quite generous though with the compensation. If I open up the mail here, right, you'll see that we already did get some pretty interesting compensation for some of the bugs. Where is it? It's down here. Yeah. So they gave us thank you gifts. Some of them for just existing, right? But we also did get a free 10 pull for some of the bugs. Tonight we are going to be getting a free 5-star selector for people having, crashes and game-breaking glitches. And I know one glitch out there was that games were just deleting themselves and they had to like reinstall the game entirely. So like there's been a bunch of weird issues that people have been having. So they are being very transparent with us on Twitter and all their socials and letting us know that they are actively working on this game in order to help it succeed. And I do like that they're doing that. Plus the fact that they are constantly giving out free rewards just because people are having these problems, which I do really respect here. They've been giving both standard pulls as well as premium pulls. As you can see, I have 25 premium pulls, and I didn't touch these at all. This is all for free that they just gave me in free currency. I'm saving up for the second half of the premium banner character, Yin Lin. She's really cool, and I really want her. She'll work well with my 5-star that I got for free as well. That's another thing. I don't have the banner up because I already finished both of my 5-star selectors. But I guess this is a good segue into the pros, the likes, right? When you first start this game, they give you 2 free 5-stars, basically. One of which is from the starter beginner banner, where it is a 50 pull banner that is discounted, right? So it's 8 pulls for a 10 pull, and then you're able to get a free random 5-star standard character once you finish those 50 pulls. Somewhere within that, you'll be getting that free 5-star character. Now, all the 5-stars are actually like usable. I don't really care for Encore, but she is good as a kind of like a main DPS. Jianjin is good as well. She's like really cool. I think I'm going to be picking her with my 5-star selector tonight. She's basically like a crowd control sub DPS that you can kind of make into a main DPS. She's really cool and I like her a lot. You got Ling Yang, who's like a weird aerial like button masher kind of character where he just like shoots out these really sick combos. I'm not too keen on his voice. His voice annoys me a little bit just because of his voice lines. but he is still really cool in his actual like gameplay and combo mechanics. You got Verena, who's also a ridiculous support type character. She just is like the premium character to get in this game. Meta-wise, I'll touch on this more in like a different video, but meta-wise, if you're going to pick a 5-star character, it should be Verena. Unless you already have her, then you pick any character that you want, really. And then the character I got, Calcharo, who is just basically Sephiroth, and he's just so goddamn cool. I'll go ahead and show some gameplay here in a second, but I just want to mention the fact that you get not only a free random 5-star out of those 5, but then once that 5-star banner finishes, you get a second banner that's kind of similar to this one, where you get to pick which 5-star you're going to guarantee to drop once you hit a 5-star. Now, I hit it at 20 pity, and I got Verena, which is who I wanted to pick up because I already got a main DPS in Calcharo, so I picked Verena, got her really early, and now I'm just free to save up again. Now, again, as I mentioned, we are getting a free 5-star selector as compensation for the glitches and bugs and stuff, and I'm going to be picking John Zin because, like, you need multiple teams in this game, and she's so cool, and I just really want to use her and, like, mess around with her playstyle. But besides that point, let's go ahead and talk about the gameplay here. I'm going to go ahead and fight this big turtle that's over here. I think the best part about this game is easily the combo system. Just so many of these characters can unleash ridiculously cool looking combos, like back to back to back to back to back, and I just really cool. Like, it's just a lot of it is really cool looking. So let's go ahead and fight this turtle and just show off what I'm talking about here. That and the enemy design is kind of sick. I can't even lie. There's literally like an enemy. I think it's called the Infernal Rider or something like that, and he is just like this big fire guy who cranks his hog, like not like in the weird way, but in the what is it, the kind of motorcycle bicycle, right? And you can like turn into him and get his motorcycle as you just like blast through everything. It's so cool, and like they have like a whole cutscene where you get to like parkour with the motorcycle, and it's just kind of sick. A lot of the characters, right, they have like, as you see at the bottom, there's that little like sound wave gauge. All characters have a unique mechanic in there that like will build up that sound wave. I guess I'm lagging up a bit over here, but it'll build up that sound wave gauge where you're able to do a special mechanic, and each one of the characters has a different one that does something else, right? And so you're able to really customize how you're playing it and what you're doing with it. And a lot of it just kind of meshes really well together, especially when you have characters like Calcharo who wants to be a main DPS on the field and, you know, spam his abilities and go bam, 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 bam. And then you have a character like Verena who just wants to come out, use her ult, hit her E button, her E skill, and then just get out of there. It does work really well. Also, if you saw there, I did grab a copy of that big turtle that I was fighting, because that's this game's relic system. You capture the enemy mobs kind of like Pokemon, and then they will then have like different effects and stuff. Actually, this one's really good. Crit rate and attack. Another cool thing, if you have a crit rate main stat, you can still get crit rate substats when you tune these characters and you level them up. So I think that's really cool. Each of them also does have a unique little thing that you can transform into. Like, for instance, I have a bird equipped on Calcharo, so if I hit this, he'll turn into the bird for a little bit and then do a counterattack. I think it's just really cool. Like, it allows you to have so much more freedom and expression with how you're building your characters. Now, obviously, there's going to be a meta to it, but for the most part, it is very, like, comfortable. And, like, you have a lot of range to do basically anything you want. And then on the topic of the fact that you're capturing these mobs like Pokemon, they can have shiny variants. Now, apparently around here is where I'm supposed to be able to find a shiny turtle. Now, I personally am not seeing a shiny turtle right now, but they can spawn in this area. You can get one of these shiny little turtles, these little turtle guys, the little rave turtles. They're pretty cool, and they do a little dancey dance. Apparently, the shiny ones are like all white, which is kind of sick. I haven't personally found a shiny yet. I will be doing that whenever I don't have any like resources to like spend on anything. But I think just having that in the game is just a really cool little feature, because it allows you to have, again, more creative flow with your builds and stuff. And if you do get a shiny, since each of the mobs that you pick up has different roles, it counts as a skin that you can apply to any of the ones that you already have of the same typing. So I think that is just a brilliant way of doing it. That way you don't have to like try to farm for a shiny version with perfect substats. You can get one with perfect substats easily and then just go ahead and apply that like shiny skin to the one that you already have that is really good. So I think that's a really cool way of doing that. I think it just works out really well. So I do like that they did that in this game. The story has been kind of alright so far. I'm not really someone who pays a whole lot of attention. What the hell?
It's
Is that
time.
a bear in the tree? I don't think he's supposed to be up there, but I'm gonna let him rock. But like, I haven't really been paying too much attention to the story, as like I'm not really someone who cares too much for the story in games like these. I'm more someone who wants to just play the game as much as possible and like get a feel of like the combat and try to make sure my characters are stronger and stronger and stronger. That's like my main thing here, and this game does that really, really well because I already love the combat system. And the story, again, it has a story skip button, kind of like Zenless Zone Zero, where most story missions you can just skip all the text and go straight to the combat, and that's like perfect for me and people who, again, who are like me that don't care too much for just the talking. Like if you're someone who doesn't like when games just yap at you, you don't have to really worry about that. And I like that. I think it's a very good addition to any of these games. Because I think mainly when it comes to like Genshin Impact, they talk so goddamn much, and you constantly have like Paimon in your ear repeating every single word of dialogue that you've already heard the characters say, and you're just gonna kind of effortlessly mash your M1 key. In this game, I just don't worry about that. I just skip it. So again, great positives there. Also, the game is really goddamn pretty. I have my settings turned down now, and it's still looking amazing. So I am overall just like a really big fan of this game, and I really do want it to succeed. I don't really have too much complaints because I personally have not really experienced any of those game-breaking bugs or anything. I have been lucky enough to just be able to play the game at my own pace and experience the world that is incredibly fun to explore, because you have all these different little mechanics that you can use to fly around and grapple hook and do all this cool stuff, right? I've been able to just do that and have a blast just walking around this area collecting stuff. And it doesn't ever feel like what I'm doing is meaningless. It always feels like I'm doing something for a purpose, which I think really helps propel this game into being one of my favorites that I've released so far in terms of like the gacha game kind of space. Like in terms of like the, the Star Rails, the Genshin Impact, the Zenless Zone Zeros, that kind of game. This one, Wuthering Waves, has just done what those other games were trying to do, but in a much more cohesive way without having to wait 4 years for very easy quality of life updates. Like, this game just launches with them. Now, obviously, again, I will have to mention there are the bugs. They will get fixed in due time, I hope. Especially with how often they're working on the game. As you can see, again, there's another update coming soon. So I'm really hopeful for this game. I think it's going to do really, really well. I will be making another video right after this going over who I think you should be picking for your 5-star selector that is going to be dropping tonight. But I'll save all that like character talk for that video. In this video, this is just what I want to talk about. I just want to put my thoughts out there and have it be known that I think this game is really, really good, and that I do recommend giving it a try to anyone who's ever been interested in any kind of gacha game, like an open world gacha game. I heavily recommend at least giving Wuthering Waves a shot. Anyway, that's going to be it for me in this video. Do let me know if you guys are going to be checking out Wuthering Waves in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.